And realistically, when you look at the objective control for game 2, as we go into picks and bans now, the big thing I'm thinking about is, well, technically they had Vulcan and Wowy, which are great objective control anyway.
Sure, but you need to be the aggressors a lot of the time.
Is that the issue?
I mean, it was just that, like you mentioned, Gabe snuck one away, basically, and they were winning the fights and pushing Noble out. Really, the only objective where I think they could have utilized those Wowy and Vulcan ults a little bit better was that initial Fire Giant that Gabe got whenever Aquarius was split pushing the left.
Second, Osiris banned out. Back to Noble again. What will their choice be? Kamazots. They respect the fact Cynosure did well on that game.
Did well in that game, but I don't think that was the determining factor necessarily. Kind of surprised. Basically just a throwaway ban at this stage, but I really would have preferred to see Noble ban away Fafnir in that stage.
Quite potentially, but they could potentially take it for themselves. Instead, they're going to go back to the Nemesis as first pick again. They did that last game, right?
Skeeledon played well in that game, outside of the early few minutes where he took a couple tumbles, but overall, I mean, I can't knock the Nemesis pick. Just maybe not in that first pick selection whenever Fafnir is probably coming here.
Does this smell like a salty run back to you right now?
Could be, though. Of course, Cynosure is not going to have the same god with that pecked away, but why not?
Fafnir,
I mean, why wouldn't you pick Fafnir there? You know what I mean?
So, but what did Noble change if they're going to change anything, or would you run the same comp as Noble?
I would like to see something a little bit more early game for stealth in that mid lane. Even something like, I mean, even KikiSoCheeky, you know, one of his signature gods. I don't mind that KikiSoCheeky matchup up against Fafnir. You can really blow him up pretty easily. You just lay down the whirlwind while he's transforming, and he's going to take a big chunk of damage no matter what.
It's funny that everyone's talking about KikiSoCheeky over Poseidon these days. That's what gets me so confused.
Poseidon would be great here. I mean, it does well against Thoth and Fafnir as long as you're patient with your Kraken, because Fafnir, of course, can't immune it with that transformation, but if you just hold it and wait for him to transform, that's a great tool against him.
Well, Noble have really focused on their front line, if anything else, and the back line with Khepri, I guess. It's all about the actual tanks for this team, or the engagers have all been set up for Noble. And you can see the Susano now picked up for Cynosure. So you ban away his Kamazots and you go to Susano.
Yeah, that's scary stuff. Like that Nox ban there from Gabe. Again, another god that does well against Susano and Fafnir. Thoth as well at times. On the other side, Cupid banned away. I think that would have been a great pick here for Wowy. Surprised that Noble was the one to ban it.
A little bit worried about that, and the Morrigan from the mid lane potentially. So they're going to have to deal with Sol, who has plenty of survivability, one of the probably the safest mages in the mid lane now.
Snoopy seems to be the only one who's still playing Sol as a hunter. Everyone else has accepted that she's gone to mid, and now playing her in the hunter role is basically only Snoopy, but
he
certainly
plays
very safe.
He plays Vulcan in the hunter role.
He plays Mercury. Yeah, he used to play Mercury, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I remember him playing Mercury. He got me demoted once, you know.
Did he?
Yep. By being on my team. Being on my team and playing Mercury. Good times. Scylla, Rama, the final two picks for Noble. So yeah, they've gone for the damage at the end, which is rather wise here.
Sure.
Obviously with the front line already drafted, and then Nike again for Kiki.
Surprised that it wasn't Poseidon, man. As soon as you said it, and then they locked in Susano, I think Poseidon would have been a phenomenal pick there for stealth, and one that he's very, very familiar with. Scylla, of course, I mean, he's got a skin in the game that literally has his name on the back.
That is
and
true.
Can be really impactful here. Thoth, whenever he's in that final judgment animation, it does take him just half a second in order to cancel it and dash away. Could be enough time for stealth to find the ultimate, but at the same token, I mean, Hurriwind can just wait until stealth goes into the Eye of a Monster and commits with the attack to use his final judgment and blow him up.
Nothing really changes with Noble's lineup here. They've got good objective secure once again. Slightly mid to late game focused, though, I will say, with stealth being on that Scylla. Yeah, you know, people are saying like her mid game isn't as bad to get to anymore. Her early game is a bit better than it used to be.
Yes.
But it still takes a little bit of ramp up for both Wowy and stealth to get online to deal the damage, as it does for Nemesis in the jungle.
This composition is certainly a little bit closer to late game in terms of what Hercules can do. Really good things in the early to mid, but becomes that unkillable tank in the mid to late game. Wubbn is going to be good in the early game. That's going to be the really only difference there in terms of where the power shift is for Noble in this draft compared to their game one.
Well, they've left stealth on his own in the mid lane at the start of this game, just to farm up, but it does mean they're going to lose the speed and blue in their jungle from memory of Gabe. As you can see, Aquarius and Skeeledon started in the solo lane together, so we might have a bit of a loop around as we normally see of jungle buffs being stripped from each other. As you looked at what Noble just did there in the duo lane, they managed to push in the whole wave and then try and contest the red. Sadly enough, Snoopy had already got it.
They had already gotten it, but they lost the majority of that wave to the duo lane of in memory of Gabe. Stealth going to take a lot of damage from those back camps, but he does have Bumba's mask, so going to be able to sustain without too much worry. So a little surprised that he was left alone this long, though.
Wubbn took a lot of free poke there that he didn't really like. He's going to back away for now, but with a couple of potions to his name, it'd be okay. As well as Watcher's Gift, which for me is probably one of the most underestimatedly OP items in this game.
You said it, man, not me.
I'm a support player, too.
Yeah, so you're allowed to say it.
It's funny because no supports ever talk about that, about how good Watcher's Gift is right now.
You're supposed to keep that on the low, dude.
No. I'm sick of supports blowing up about Sunder, and I'm like, you have the most OP item in Watcher's Gift. It'll eventually get nerfed.
But then there was Emilzy coming out and saying that he thinks aura items are too good right now.
Emilzy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's still a kid, man.
So you think that
he's not even got any chin hair yet. I'm not going to listen to Emilzy.
Well, I can't say anything about that. On the left-hand side, Snoopy and Eonic trying to get this purple buff, but after the abduct from Wubbn, forces Snoopy's purification beads out, so they get the little ones in exchange for the purification beads. Not really worth it there for a memory of Gabe.
No, not really. So purple buff will go over to Wubbn right about now. Hits level 3 alongside his teammate. A little bit of extra experience though for memory of Gabe in the grand scheme of things with them starting off early, clearing the wave. And now they can go back to the purple buff too. So still a small lead, I'd say, for the duo lane of memory of Gabe.
And now Wowy can be left alone if necessary. Wubbn starting to make his rotation into mid. Going to be meeting up here with Skeeledon and MLC Stealth to guarantee these oracles. The ever-important early vision. Yes, the golden experience from oracles always great at any time of the game, but in the early game, especially when you don't have a lot of wards on the map, that oracle vision can come in real handy.
Well, for the time being, just continuing to farm up. Aquarius up against Kiki in that solo lane this time round. The Hercules will have lane power dominance, but Skeeledon in mid! That was once again. Some of the combos from the mid laners today have been fantastic, of like when they're in the air, they're hitting them before they even land, which is so brutal because there's nothing you can do when you're in the air.
Great play there out of Cynosure and Hurriwind, getting out the purification beads from Skeeledon and then waiting to fire off that Typhoon as long as possible. But Aquarius going to find the solo kill onto Kiki in the solo lane.
And that's the reason they switched it up and picking Hercules instead of Sun Wukong here. Obviously, Sun Wukong will be able to farm out against the Nike, do a pretty good job of it because the knock-up can interrupt. But Hercules is so much better. The driving strike disrupts and causes so many issues with the rend.
Can stop that Nike ultimate from going off because of the CC chain. Kiki was just hitting level 5 as he died, so didn't get a chance to use that Sentinel of Zeus. But after that pull-push combination, I don't know if you have enough time to get that shield off before the boulder comes through.
Bad news is, though, Aquarius didn't get the first blood of the game, so he didn't get any bonus gold to help him out in that solo lane so far. It'll just be a couple of extra creeps up against Kiki, if anything, whereas Hurriwind, I believe, got the kill in the mid lane. More impactful, given that big mage the extra gold to be able to finish off the boots a little bit quicker than that of MLC Stealth.
Still wasn't able to complete it on the first back, though, so a little bit surprising there. So not a big deal quite yet, though. Of course, anytime you've got a little bit of extra gold, even if it doesn't come up to help you out initially, it always helps in the end because you're going to be getting those mid-game power spikes slightly faster or just getting a couple more wards to help out with your team vision.
Memory of Gabe just happy to keep giving Snoopy this red buff in this lane up against Wowy. You kind of do when you've got a mage playing there anyway, just be able to clear the wave a little bit more effectively and freely.
And it, as you mentioned, it scales a little bit better with magical power because the magical power numbers are a little bit higher. And of course, red buff goes off of total power percent, so a little bit more effective on Snoopy, as well as the fact that Hurriwind is still waiting for that mid to late game to become very effective in terms of his poke anyways. Anything to help Snoopy be a little bit more impactful in that lane.
Left-hand Harpies go to Memory of Gabe. Right one's got to go to Noble here with Stealth now turning up. They'll be able to get the mid-wave farm before it gets to the tower as well. Aquarius, though, still trying to put a bit of a bully tactic onto Kiki. Embarrassed himself there for a second, but he's still got lane control.
No problem at all. Kiki just didn't even do anything to him. Just let him kind of throw himself into that tower. Kiki knows that he can't really afford to play aggressive in that lane anymore after taking that solo death.
And it's rightfully so. I mean, he could have leapt onto Hercules if he wanted to try and keep it in tower range for an extra shot, but it wouldn't have been kill potential anyway. Might as well hold his abilities, play it safe, continue farming.
And just wait, because you never know exactly where Skeeledon is. As soon as Skeeledon shows up with that ultimate, if Kiki's ult or leap is down, even with the ult, it might not be enough to get him away.
Potential pick on the left-hand side. Skeeledon eats a big old hammer and a nice little combo of abilities here. Skeeledon held his bead through the entirety of that segment, trying to get away with just his dash and his shield. And because of that, he gets picked up for free.
That's tough. That's a tough spot for MLC Stealth as well, because you're standing there like...
I can't help you, bro. I got...
Ooh, ow, ow.
That stung.
That looked like it hurt a lot, and it certainly did. Skeeledon, I think his beads had just come up, actually, as well.
They?
So,
I wasn't sure if the beads were up, because I looked down, they were there.
I'm not sure if it mattered either way, because you don't want to beads at initial engagement, because then they know they can just uncommit from you and put some shots in MLC
Sure.
Stealth. It stuck between a rock and a hard place
Nice
there.
driving strike from Aquarius. Kiki was trying to bait a little bit so we could see Cynosure come in. But Aquarius would just be able to walk away from that. And in the end, it works out in favor of Noble, at least for Aquarius' point of view, because Kiki used that ultimate.
Of course, Aquarius definitely in a better spot.
Uh-oh.
Now he's going to find the kill again. 2v1.
What, mate?
This dude's a beast. Are you joking? He's
That's
nuts.
why Hercules is great. Like, Hercules is one of those guys that will always do that. I remember a particular play from Cyclone Spin up against Omega a long time ago.
Oh, I remember
the
that.
Odin versus Herc. Hercules is always one of those that you're like, he's dead. You can see, if you get hit by the Earthbreaker, you can look at it and go, yeah, that guy's dead. Rest in peace.
Kiki was dead in that scenario, and man, really impressive play coming out of Aquarius. He's basically trying to keep Skeeledon in this game, because if you can just get your right side of the jungle secured, that's the best way for a jungler to get back into it. Usually when a jungler is falling very far behind, it's because they fell behind a little bit and then started to lose all their jungle buff on the right-hand side. But when your solo is this big, your buffs are safe because no one wants to go over there and deal with them.
I'll tell you, I'm pretty sure there's a tier list of skins for Hercules of what you can actually play in the SPL.
Oh, yeah.
And be effective with. The baseball one seems to be
Number one.
the most consistent one.
It isn't close.
Although the tier 2 one that Devios pulls out on Hercules, that one's pretty far up there too.
That one's solid, but can we all agree that the Luchador one is not close to the
Hang
baseball
on,
skin?
Maniac will have words with you because Maniac loves that Luchador one. He's the one that goes to that one most of the time.
it's good. It's a solid skin. Derpules definitely up there as well. I mean,
Doesn't get played much though, does it?
But that's why you just get so not used to seeing Hercules with such a tiny head, and then the voice comes through, and not
true.
only are you dead, but you're demoralized as well.
It's true. Aquarius back to the lane, level 10 against a level 9, or level 11 I should say, up against the level 9 of Kiki. Kiki's about half a level behind here, I'd say, give or take, as he does hit level 10. So roughly about half a level, if not a little bit more. Left hand side though, Wubbn's in trouble, forced to ult himself.
Oh no!
Oh, the pull in from Cynosure stopped Wubbn getting bursted down by Hurriwind. Wowy turns up to the fight, but was forced to beat then as Eonic was there too. It's still 2 for 2 on the cards right now, but Memory of Gabe do still have a gold lead.
That is the feels bad man moment on both sides, right? You expect Cynosure to be the one to say, hey, I'm about to pull him. Hurriwind's saying, hey, I can ult him.
Yep.
And then neither of them say anything, and then that kind of stuff happens. Always a little bit frustrating in that scenario.
Kiki's not having a good time up against his baseball Grand Slam star here. Aquarius just bullying him in the lane for the time being. But it's really the only lane to really talk about because nothing else is really going on across the map. I say that, but Gold Fury has been started by Memory of Gabe here, and I don't think anybody else recognizes, not even the cameraman does, although they're going to reset it as soon as we saw Wowy turn up there with Skeeledon and the Oracles go their way.
No. The cameraman knew that was just Oracles.
Oh, my bad.
It wasn't
My
even
bad.
the Gold Fury. Come on now.
My bad. He was rotating through every character. He was showing us the third person of everybody.
It's because he knew. He was like, that isn't important. They're only doing Oracles. Hindu, talk
true.
about something better.
It's true. I'll talk about the purple buff going down on the left-hand side. At least I said blue, that would have been worse. Aquarius on the right-hand side, though, still bullying Kiki under the tier 1 tower now, trying to put some poke down. And with Wubbn packing in here as well, with that ultimate on cooldown, he can't really do much.
Kiki had to use his ultimate as well, though, just to get away from Aquarius, who didn't have to commit his Excavate Boulder. So Aquarius really getting the better end of Kiki, who went for this Nike again in this matchup. And while Kiki looked really, really good for Oxygen Supremacy's Gauntlet run, and even during relegations, has not looked good thus far in this split.
Oh, he's not looking good at escaping here. The dot damage from Wubbn will be enough to bring down Kiki, and the rotation from Memory of Gabe's got to try and catch Aquarius now, but it is a Hercules is up against, and Wubbn's ultimate is alive once again, and that's why Wubbn's trying to hang around and tank the tower for him. Aquarius just trying to do a beat down. The rotation coming in from Noble soon. Cynosure took a load of damage, but so did Aquarius, and Wubbn wasn't in range with the ult.
Now Skeeledon comes around the back, finds the
Hammers.
ultimate on a Cynosure. Stealth's gonna get credit as he walks into the crush. Big I'm a monster, but Eonic's still alive.
And Eonic's still going to sustain back over the coerce. Snoopy now rotating from the dual lane. Can he manage to find a potential pick onto one of these characters? Stealth not able to find the damage, but the Aegis will keep him alive up against the Supernova.
Really good Aegis there from Stealth, because that knockup could have affected Wubbn as well, preventing that Scarab's blessing, but you called it, Hindu. I mean, Wubbn was right there waiting for the ultimate and then just kind of left Aquarius.
I guess he thought the heal was about to come through from mitigate wounds or something, or he got distracted.
Maybe. I don't know.
You never know.
In my mind, Wubbn's just got to be there in that scenario. Aquarius
He was
knows
there,
he's in
though.
trouble. He was,
Yeah.
and then he wasn't.
I've done that as Khepri too. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, though.
Yeah,
I
but
always
you
do.
stink,
like-
Hindu.
I do.
And I expect Wubbn to not stink, and he
But
doesn't
why are we
stink.
talking about my odor over the fact of my play?
No,
Like,
it
that's
was more
different.
about your play. We say that in America when we think you're bad at something, we say you stink.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not heard that yet?
They're not the words I've heard in my rank games. They're
well-
much worse than stink.
I'm a little bit more polite than your ranked teammates.
That's true. That's true. 4-3 in favor of Noble in terms of kills, in terms of experience as well. Memory of Gabe have a small gold lead still, so this is still an even game, but I do feel as this game gets later, both teams come online stronger and stronger.
Absolutely, there's definitely late game potential on both sides. I mean, you're looking, of course, at MLC Stealth on the Scylla come late game, but you also have to look at Wowy on the Ram. Of course, Nemesis is a nightmare come late game. On the other side, you've got Gabe. Snoopy can be a hyper carry on the Soul late game, and then, of course, Thoth is just as strong as Scylla in the later stages.
And in my eyes as well, that's when you factor in Nike. When those stacks do come online from the Laurel, it helps out the whole squad too, just to give them the extra mobility, which doesn't hurt a Susano, that's for sure.
Absolutely not, as well as extra damage, and I love this Nike pick with the Soul ADC, because just like how red buff works better with magical power because of how the scaling works, the same can be said for Nike passive. You're just getting % damage, and you're getting more out of that with the magical characters.
In a bit of trouble on this left-hand side, but once again, it shows how safe Soul can be with that Disapparate to escape the danger. Not only will she actually get invincibility, basically, she also gets movement speed by popping it, so it's a win-win from just one ability.
It's really strong, and everyone was saying, oh, this ability stinks now after it lost its Fatalis, and that's just one of those moments where we were all kind of sitting there like, really? You think this ability's bad? Because it does a whole lot in terms of Soul safety.
Aquarius will take a tier 1 fight on the right-hand side. I love the fact that you just hesitated for the last shot, like, yeah, I'm the man.
I could take this if I wanted to. I could let this tower live, but I'm choosing not to.
So why do you think we've not seen Cynosure try and pay any attention to the Hercules? Is it because it is Hercules is the problem?
He doesn't have any anti-heal. He has no penetration quite yet. He went for the shifter shield, I believe. Or no, excuse me, he does have that brawlers now, so now he can spend some time over there. Right. Needed some anti-heal, needed some penetration. Could start to spend a little bit of time over there if he wanted to, but honestly, I think that Kiki can just make the call to say, listen, I'm in trouble in this lane. You don't have to come over here.
Sure.
I'm just going to safe farm for the time being, and then use that Nike passive in the late game. Doesn't matter how far behind the Nike falls, the rest of the team can get that passive for her.
Credit where it's due to Kiki, though. He has tried to stay as close on experience as possible. You can see there's about 1,000 gold difference between the two, though. Although Aquarius has gone for an old school sort of build earlier on this season. We saw the Shield of Regrowth and the Breastplate of Valor combinations being so strong, but with Shield of Regrowth now only 10% cooldown means you're not maxing out, but it does make you go faster as Hercules.
Yeah, HP, some cooldown reduction, 30% is plenty on that Hercules, and of course, just using that to not only disengage, but be a great engage tool as well.
Thinking about it even more, I like this build for the simple fact is with health builds, you're always a little bit worried about chins.
Yes.
But when there's a Sol on the enemy team, you don't have to worry about the chin so much. Hercules could be a real issue.
And now there's a Dynasty Plate helm coming out of Snoopy that you were asking for from these mid-mages.
Yeah.
In fact, Hurriwind has one as well.
They were listening.
They were listening.
They were listening as they were playing the first game. That's what it was. And like, oh,
wait,
yeah,
that's not
a good
allowed.
point.
You're not allowed.
Why not?
You could tell if we're saying, hey, oh man, Noble's sneaking a fire giant, then they just listen to it and they know. That's not allowed. You would do that, but these players can't.
Well, I mean, if that was happening, then they knew the stealth ult was coming, so they backed away. Hurriwind's just playing to the right standard. I think it's okay. Clever use of mechanics is what I call that.
See,
I'm a cheat. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, you are a cheat, yes.
It's fine. I don't care. I'll cheat to win. Eddie Guerrero taught me that. Gold Fury at 80% health right now. Multiple routes onto multiple people from Wubbn there. There's a nice bit of poke from Snoopy. Came out for a second, but it didn't do too much to slow them down. Kiki, though, got a lot of free damage off onto Wowy, who was busy tanking up that Gold Fury alone. Skeeledon's on his own around the backside, though, because Wubbn had to ult to defend himself. And now it's actually Noble on the retreat after Memory of Gabe win a free poke fight.
Good job there by Skeeledon to try and keep everyone busy and get out of danger as well. But now it means that they've used two ultimates. Both the Khepri ultimate and the Nemesis ultimate are on cooldown.
Oh, Wowy's in
trouble. And there's the knock-up onto Wowy. Snoopy's going to blow him up with the Supernova.
No messing around from Snoopy on the Supernova. Cynosure, though, jukes out the stealth ult, which could have caused so many problems for Memory of Gabe. But the collapse straight afterwards from Memory of Gabe onto him brings him down, and now it's Aquarius who's the only one that could really tank up this entire squad. Just not able to do anything.
But he can take up this entire squad right now. Here it comes. Gold Fury started up, and Eonic is going to help burn this down pretty quickly with that Fafnir transformation.
They could steal this. They could steal this with Aquarius and with Wowy having his ultimate too. Skeeledon's going to draw them away then. I love the idea behind it. It's a little bit risky. You may fall, but it does keep the Gold Fury alive, and Gold Fury definitely worth a lot more than a singular kill.
Right now, this game is very, very even. Good play there from Noble. Despite losing 2 for 1 in that scenario, as you mentioned, Skeeledon and Aquarius do a great job of keeping Gabe off of that objective, keeping this game very close.
Yeah, I do about very close. I think that's what solo lane has been for everybody so far this split. I think Aquarius showing that he can compete with up there with the other solo lanes in the SPL. Kiki as well coming back to the solo lane, coming back to the SPL after his time in Challenger Circuit. The season of all the teams in the SPL in North America, solo's a really tight role.
It really is. There's a lot of talent there, as well as Europe. I mean, you look at what Maniac has done since coming back for Obey after his break during Season 3. Basically, solo is a really competitive role right now. It's pretty difficult to break into.
Still 5-5 in this game is balanced on a knife edge. There's not ridiculous amounts of action in it, though. It's all timed to perfection in terms of ultimates being ready and the right place at the right time. It's not really a pick-focused game, this one,
because neither of these teams have great pick compositions. I mean, yes, Nemesis can help you pick off a target pretty easily in a 3v3 or 2v2 sort of scenario, but Gabe has done a good job of staying grouped to the point where that's not going to be too relevant.
And I think the issue is for a Nemesis in this game is that the mobility factors in. Hurriwind got a pretty good escape with that dash. The same can be said for Cynosure and Eonic too, and Snoopy as well, and Kiki with the shields and the leaps. Like, it's very tricky for a Nemesis to ult and then make sure they're going to be able to burst it down before they escape.
And that's why Skeeledon has to be very patient with this ultimate, and where this time around, these 3 Sunders could be a little bit more impactful than it was in Game 1 because of how much mobility is on the side of Gabe. You can bait out using the Sunder and then use the Nemesis ult, or vice versa.
Well, bad news for Noble. There's 2 wards behind him, which is spotting out this goal for your attempt, but they're still coming in for a second. With that crush stream being down for the time being, everyone's going to back away. Snoopy takes a lot of free perfects to Skeeledon's ult, and he will pick up the kill onto Snoopy before Disapparate comes down. A little bit too far forward from the Hunter from memory of Gabe, and now it's Noble in prime position towards the gold.
Eonic's still here and has his ultimate available, but Aquarius is pushing everybody back. Kiki comes around the backside and puts some good damage onto Wubbn, but not enough to make him fall.
But Wubbn is very low now, and he's going to be a bit of an awkward spot for him to be in, because he would like to hang around to secure this for his team. Gold Fury goes to Noble, and memory of Gabe give up the goose there. Nice play from Noble.
Good play there, exactly. And again, it's just recognizing that Snoopy was a little bit out of position. Skeeledon's ultimate came through and made a big difference, as well as the fact that 2 Sunders were fired off. The frenzy from Wubbn was enough to get everyone from Gabe to really commit to stopping Noble's Gold Fury pull. A lot of times you can kind of half step in and get them off the Gold Fury, but with how low it was falling and how quickly, that really had to get all in.
Paul Demon's about to jump ball. Hurriwind channeling the ultimate too. Paul Demon goes to Noble, and now Hurriwind's a jump on the left. The double tap at the border from Wubbn, but the problem is that Hurriwind just ignores it. In the sky, however, is Wowy trying to buy time for a second. The bad news is when he lands, there's plenty of damage waiting for him, and all it took was an in-hand from Hurriwind.
3rd kill for Hurriwind, and he's in a good spot right now, 3-0-2, but despite that good scoreline, a little bit behind in terms of where MLC Stealth is in terms of levels, down a level right now. 2 stealth, despite MLC only being 1-1-1.
I do like Hurriwind's build though. Spear of the Magus isn't necessarily the best item on to a singular mage, but knowing that you've got Snoopy playing that soul, you're empowering your Hunter a little bit more to do more damage with the abilities you get off. It's a good way of playing as a squad.
I totally agree with you, and then you also have to factor in the fact that he's getting a lot of flat pen from his passive anyways, so you have a little bit more penetration. Yes, Obsidian Shard would be nice, and wouldn't be surprised to see Hurriwind go for an Obsidian Shard later on in this build, but for the time being, between his passive and that Spear of the Magus, that's more than enough. And you're right, Synergize is beautiful with what Snoopy wants to do as well.
One of the reasons we actually saw some of the mage AD carries come into favor was because of that opportunity, where back in the day, Spear of the Magus was a little bit stronger, and you saw a couple more use it. We utilize it very well as a squad. Still 6-6 though. Fire Giant is still standing in this game. We've only had 1 Gold Fury so far. It's a long game, this one, but it's Nobles right now, I'd say, with how they've been playing.
And they've got a great late game. We talked about it earlier on between MLC Stealth on the Scylla, Skeeledon, and the Nemesis. Wowy needs to get a little bit more farm, though. He's falling pretty far behind Snoopy.
But Cynosure's not going to give him an opportunity to do that. And the burst damage is so good from Snoopy and Cynosure together. Those 2 damage stealers at this stage of the game are brutal.
That's his perfect timing, because now Soul is starting to do a lot of damage, and Cynosure is still doing a lot of damage, where Soul, like I mentioned, just getting there. Cynosure has been there for a little bit.
I mean, look at the map on the left-hand side. Noble had no wards down there whatsoever. Wowy's pretty much left alone. There was multiple members either in base from Noble there, or just not in the right position to keep an eye on the rotations coming out, that he just allowed Cynosure to walk all the way over, pick up a free kill.
And you can't really run away from Susano. He's going to be able to close basically any gap you put in between you, so good job out of Cynosure. Probably didn't need to use both the Typhoon and Supernova in that scenario, but probably both going to be up and available before the next engagement happens anyways.
Well, Stealth's now farming up the left-hand side of the map now, continue to try and get some stacks online. Well, his stacks are full, I should say, but farming out and push somebody over to that left-hand side to defend. Now Wowy turns back up, though, for the fray. And this is just waiting game again, I believe, for the next Gold Fury reported him, because I don't think either team feels confident enough in the Fire Giant just yet.
Absolutely not. I mean, these two teams are so even right now in terms of gold. The leads are on the side lanes. Snoopy ahead of Wowy, Aquarius ahead of Kiki.
21 minutes in and those experience graphs are exactly the same. That's crazy. Experience in gold is even.
Especially with, like I mentioned, one lane having a big lead for one side and the other lane having a big lead for the other. This is, I mean, 100 gold between these two teams at 21 minutes.
I am going to say Eonic OP, though, because he is playing Fafnir, and you do get bonus gold as a Fafnir, so we don't really look about that in the graphs, but technically some of that gold income that you'll see on the side of Memory of Gabe is because of Fafnir's passive that is making it even.
A big reason why Fafnir is so heavily prioritized right now. He just gets so much gold, and of course, whenever he has gold in hand, that translates into protections for him, which makes it even harder to kill an already very hard to kill god. Really brings a lot to the team.
Two members heading to the left-hand side from Noble now, Skeeledon in tow, just to get the farm more often than not. Wall coverage down from Memory of Gabe, though, and gives the game away a little bit earlier on. These oracles could be quite important for both teams here.
Yeah, absolutely, with his Gold Fury respawning in less than a minute, certainly want to get that guaranteed vision. They're going to split each down the middle.
And Aquarius did rotate in from the solo lane there as Kiki headed back to base. Kiki not going to use his teleport just yet, wisely so. Both these solo laners going to have to make some impacts with these teleports now, I feel, because they're not going to be able to kill each other from this point on.
Especially with Stone of Gaia being done for Kiki now, not going to get picked up by that Earthbreaker anymore. Love that pickup for him. Also, just a ton of HP that does very well up against Nemesis. Would like to see a Wingblade as well, get a little bit more health and have that slow immune passive.
Interestingly enough, though, the Heartward Amulet coming out from Kiki, they're normally given to supports because they'd like their aura and you don't necessarily want to double stack them for the most part. But giving it over to Kiki here means that there's a little bit of options there for Eonic to go elsewhere, and that's exactly what he does.
Shogun's Kasari for Eonic instead of that Heartward Amulet. Going to be a little bit closer to Snoopy and Hurriwind, upping their auto attack damage, or excuse me, auto attack speed, which translates into more damage, especially with a character like Soul, but also with Hurriwind on this Thoth, because of course that Glyph of Pain, the more autos you can throw through that before it falls down, that's more damage you're putting out.
Oh, Eonic with an early hammer there. The abduct from Wubbn didn't hit either. Aquarius took a poke to the face for a second, but he is still Hercules and he's still full health with Shield of Regrowth. He's not going to be too upset just yet. I would like to see Aquarius play further forward here. He has enough with a Khepri to revive him that if they invest everything into him, he may still survive without the Khepri ult needed.
No Pestilence quite yet from a Memory of Gabe. Very surprising up against that Hercules. He finds the push onto Eonic, but a well-timed transformation.
And they're going to back away, and the crush damage out from Stealth was pretty nice as well, just to poke Eonic a little bit more. Now that they forced that Dragon, though, Memory of Gabe being forced to commit to the Gold Fury and put some pressure onto it, trying to use that coerce.
Cynosure lurking. Gold Fury gets below half HP, but now Kiki finds a knockup onto Wubbn. He's going to dash away as Stealth throws that crush onto Kiki.
Definitely a dance between the two here, and still Memory of Gabe trying to use the Dragon form. Notice when the coerce was popped by Eonic there, that's what the go signal was for Memory of Gabe. Popped again before Eonic has to turn back into his Dwarven form. Kiki goes in there, and Wubbn took a lot more than he bargained for. He had to ult himself, and that's not something you wanted. I'm a monster from Stealth, though, and the Aegis is absorbed for Snoopy.
Snoopy gonna get plucked and pushed, and no relics available for him, but Disapparate is good. He's gonna be able to get into that form pretty quickly as Wowy looks for the snipes.
Oh, Cynosure on the left-hand side, though, is very, very low after picking up Stealth. Still going in the Skeeledon, and he'll find it. Kiki knocks two up straight away, and Snoopy's there to try and back him up, but it's against Aquarius, one of the tankiest targets in this game. The mitigate wounds has been popped. He's trying to juke out abilities, look for the sustain, but Aquarius is getting low. The raid boss is down, and Hurriwind can just walk away as Wowy is forced to beat.
Beautiful hammer there out of Eonic. Skeeledon in some trouble one-on-one against Hurriwind. Doesn't have that stun quite yet, but that hieroglyphic assault going to put some good damage in onto Skeeledon. At the end of the day, it's a 2-for-1.
Only a 2-for-1. These guys are playing this really well in these team fights.
They really are. Very back and forth, but Gabe's still healthy enough to try and pull this. Only Wubbn around here.
This is the world. I love it when it's a support versus. In the old days, it was good when they had Hogman, because you're like, go on. Everyone always rooted for the support to steal it. This time, it won't be the case. Snoopy has slain the Gold Fury.
And that's going to push that gold even higher in Gabe's favor. Look at that team fight recap. Very close in terms of damage numbers, but not close at all in terms of gold or experience. Gabe starting to separate themselves a little bit, up about 2,500.
Well, we saw Noble a little bit early on get the goal for you, then a Paul Demon. It looks like Memory of Gabe are trying to return the favor, and Wubbn is going back to base again soon unless he gets some help, and help he did get from Stealth and Wowy. Paul Demon's reset. Skeeledon did a great job of zoning 3 members of Memory of Gabe away from that engagement.
Leveled 19 on this jungler. He's done a really good job this game. 3-2-1. Had a very impressive performance on the Nemesis this time around, out-leveling Cynosure, despite Sino getting some early kills in this game.
I actually don't think anyone's really playing bad this game. Normally you can find a weak link of one of the teams where it's like, yeah, that's kind of where the situation's been. I mean, Kiki being 0-3 at the start of the game, it was kind of an obvious point there, but it was Nike against the Hercules, and that can happen. Cynosure, though, maybe I spoke too soon. Poor Sino. He's already dead.
Good night, Sweet Prince. And again, it just comes down to the fact that Aquarius is in the perfect spot and sets up his team for that one.
No relics there for Cynosure too, so just in the wrong position at the wrong time. Paul Demon goes to Noble to answer back some of that Gold Fury gold. And the gold is starting to get to that point where it won't matter as much soon with everybody starting to complete builds. Experience going to matter a little bit less as everyone's starting to reach level 20.
I've got the idea for the next top tier Hercules skin for the SPL.
Here we go.
Waiter Hercules, and as he does the 2-1 combination, he says, "Order up," because he just serves it to his team on a silver platter.
Someone on Reddit is going to make that skin and post it tomorrow. You can see it. So
that's a good idea. Come on.
It's not bad.
Not bad. What do you mean?
Oh, the rage pop by Noble there, looking to aggress, but Hurriwind was just out of the range, and I don't think Noble were ready for that pop of that whatsoever. Tier 2 tower still being pressured. Round the corner, Snoopy and Kiki trying to poke back Wowy and Stealth to keep the damage dealers away from taking the tower. Skeeledon has to give up the goose there as Aquarius now taking up, but Wubbn's low again. Wubbn has to ult himself again, and now with Kiki slowing down the rest of the team, they can't help him out, but Kiki's already dead.
Great push there, and Snoopy's in a bad spot, but the Aegis is perfectly timed once more. Big stellar burst out of him, but Aquarius squishes him with the ball.
No, they all grouped up and got Hurriwind free damage off, and Hurriwind's being left alone on the backside to put damage through. He dashes in looking for Wowy, but Wowy responds with a roll of his own. 10-11, and that was Noble on the aggression that lost 2. Memory of Gabe lost 2 on the defense as well.
Very good plays out of both sides. Skeeledon does a great job of holding that ultimate
is so close,
and waiting for Kiki to jump in. An immediate Nemesis all tore through that shield from KikiSoCheeky, so it was easy picks there, but overall, Gabe just finds a great group up there for Noble. As you mentioned, everyone's all on top of each other. Not only does Hurriwind get a lot of damage off, but Snoopy as well. Snoopy on top of the player damage charts right now in this game.
I think the biggest key for Noble in this game right now is to try and take out Hurriwind. They have the snipes from Wowy to be able to potentially finish him off if they have some investment into him, and I think that's going to be the key now, because Hurriwind's been left unchecked for most of the game. 3-0-4, not a single death. His positioning is pretty solid this game from his point of view, but they do have the potential to go in and enforce his relics, potentially set up Wowy for a kill.
And that's what you had the Sun Wukong for last game for Aquarius. That is so much better at closing that gap between someone like a Thoth and a Warrior. Aquarius is going to have a much harder time getting close to Hurriwind on this Hercules, even with that shield of regrowth. And he's doing a really good job of controlling Cynosure for the most part. That's been the real target, locking down that mobile assassin. It's just got to be Stealth has to find a reset one of these days. I mean, or even a big I'm a monster target in general. Look at where his player damage is. He's 8,500 at 28 minutes. It's a little bit too low for a Scylla.
I think realistically though, when we saw Stealth put the ultimate in the last team fight, I don't think he expected Wowy to burst Kiki down as hard as he did, because I think he was looking for the reset knowing the leap was down from Kiki there. It was a potential for an easy reset option. Instead he had to throw into Snoopy, and Snoopy seems to be happy to just only use his Aegis for the Armor Monster.
Of course, I mean that's a big chunk of damage, that you really don't have to worry about as long as you have that Aegis. And Snoopy that time around was pretty aggressive with his positioning, but that was because he had both of his relics available. Now for the next 30 seconds, cannot play that aggressive, but looks like there isn't going to be any sort of engagement in that time period. So look for Snoopy and where he is, because he hasn't been too close to Hurriwind. Those two have been pretty split in these engagements, and that's good, because if everyone's on Snoopy, that means no one's on Hurriwind.
Well, Memory of Gabe now do have the bonus of the Nike passive coming into play in full effect now. All 3 laurels are activated. They've got 2 members who are level 20 now. They've got over 10 kills, and hopefully by this point, they've definitely cleared 100 minions.
That's all you need, and absolutely. So you got that extra movement speed, and as I mentioned, that extra damage is perfect with characters like Thoth and like Soul.
Eonic just face-checked him there. Abduct missing thanks to the hammer coming out from Eonic, but not only that, it was the Sunder wasted too.
But it was actually Stone of Gaia from Eonic that prevented that pull from Wubbn. Didn't miss miss it, just hit him, and then
OP.
a Stone of Gaia
My bad,
prevents that
pull
pull in.
hammer straight away. Now Eonic goes in though, looking for aggression, disarms Aquarius for a second. A little bit of poke damage coming out from Snoopy there, as well as Cynosure is inching his way around the corner from the mid lane. Ward wars happening around the Gold Fury, and surprising that Gold Fury will be the fight that could win the game for either team here, when Fire Giant hasn't even been looked at by either team.
Aquarius, the first one in, finds the push onto Eonic. No Stone of Gaia for him this time, but he's already gone. Wow, he shreds him.
And Wubbn's now one hit from death too, has to ult himself. I'm a monster misses from stealth, but Hurriwind at the back now being focused by Aquarius, but he got a lot of damage off in the fight. Snoopy in the sky looking to pick up a target. Cynosure has shredded down Wubbn already, and the snipes from Wowy will take out Cynosure.
Snoopy's gonna found Wowy once he falls down though, and Skeeledon gets gobbled up by that Stellar Burst. Kiki juking around, Aquarius can't quite find him. Crush over the wall is Aegis out by Snoopy beautifully once more. Always seems to have that ready for stealth.
And Aquarius won't be able to get the kill on either of them, and Snoopy and Hurriwind working so well together. And Kiki just sat off on the side, knowing he needed to stay out of it, but he would have come in with a leap if required. Memory of Gabe win that fight 4-2, and the Gold Fury going their way, which isn't that monumental, this Gold Fury at this stage in my eyes. It's not going to be as much of a swing as you'd expect, but a big fight.
Man, that was such a good engagement right off the bat from Noble. They shredded Eonic immediately before anything happened. Blink there from MLC Stealth actually gets him out of danger there with Kiki. So Eonic starts off that engagement by getting absolutely blown up off of multiple Sunders, it looked like, from Noble, but Kiki did such a good job of jumping in and disrupting anything else after that. And after Noble had invested that many cooldowns into Eonic, it was Snoopy and Hurriwind who basically got free reign to do whatever they want in that team
I will
fight.
say, credit where it's due, though. I was looking at Memory of Gabe's like roster and seeing who'd not died yet. Eonic was one of them, and Eonic's a really hard character to kill when he's playing Fafnir. Because of the dragon form, you get that immunity to taking some damage while you change form. They timed their CC so well together that he couldn't get his dragon form off. It was a beautiful play, but Memory of Gabe still come out on top.
But everyone just lined up on Noble, and they all took a ton of damage from Snoopy and Hurriwind after killing Eonic.
That's right.
And again, MLC Stealth just didn't find a home with the I'm a Monster. He just has to be able to hit that ultimate if you're going to be playing Scylla. That's really all it really revolves around, is how impactful can I be with I'm a Monster.
Now this Blink as well that's coming online for Stealth, I guess he's looking for more, not necessarily like survivability, because if you're in combat you're going to get hit, you can't use it anyway.
Sure.
It looks like it's another engage tool they're looking for as a cheeky play, it felt like to me, because that's kind of what they're lacking here, I guess, is engage, because you got the root from Wubbn, a slow from Skeeledon, and an Earthbreaker from Aquarius.
That's true. I mean, you do have the opportunity to blink engage with Scylla. I mean, finding that blink Sikkim can be really potent, but it's really, for me, blink on Scylla is kind of for towards the end of fights. You're going to be blinking away as you're juking away abilities, or you're chasing people down who are very low HP, blinking and then throwing that crush to slow everybody down and allow your team to catch up.
One of the games changed pace a little bit with Memory of Gabe getting that free Fire Giant after the Gold Fury in the Pole Demon 2. They can now start going on the Tower Rampage, which will give them a bit more of a gold and experience lead, but even though experience not going to matter at all here, the gold will allow them to complete those final 6 items and then start looking towards relics and some potions.
Plenty of towers left for them to take down. All 3 tier 2s still standing strong here for Noble, but not for long.
Do you defend the tier 2s here?
I don't know. I mean, you could try. It's pretty risky, but with the way this positioning seems to be working out, I think they're going to give up this tier 2 on left, but could look to defend the tier 2 in mid.
I'm not sure. There's 4 members now grouped up. Kiki there as well. Stealth was farming mid lane, split apart by Kiki for a second, but 4 on 4 with a Fire Giant, you're going to lose that tower before you even get yourself in position. They do want to defend tier 2 mid though.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this call. You've got all your defensive relics up. You've got all your ultimates, but on the other hand, gold at this point, not that impactful. Sure. You're not too worried about how much gold the enemy is getting, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
Aquarius in the front lines has to back away, worried about the poke damage. Kiki goes in straight away, hits Wubbn into place, but look how quick that tier 2 fell. There is no Hunter on this squad. That is a mage played by Snoopy.
And he's got Fatalis now, so a little bit of extra attack speed, movement speed, penetration as well. Plenty to knock down these towers very quickly.
And so Memory of Gabe going to swing around to the right-hand side to do the same thing again. They will bring the minions with them because they realize themselves that one team fight after 30+ minutes can cost you a game, especially because respawn times increase the higher level you get.
Absolutely. Wowy doesn't have any Titan's Bane, but has the Executioner and the Chin Size, so we'll be able to shred through those towers pretty quickly if Noble's able to find this team fight victory.
All about positioning here for both the squads. Aquarius is always going to be looking for those Earthbreakers if he can. Eonic jumps in and gets abducted straight away. He eats a lot of free poke for that, but he created enough room for the tier 2 tower to go down. Wubbn stayed in a little bit too long after the ducked, forced to ult himself, and he will be the first casualty. Skeeledon sadly ends up being involved in that too, and now Wowy as well is in trouble. His Aegis is down as his beads, and Hurriwind gets credit for the kill.
Stealth trying to get back to his fountain will do so. Has the blink, I'm a monster, but needs to do it all by himself here. There's the blink in, the crush, the I'm a monster, but he gets chased down by Snoopy. Deicide for In Memory of Gabe.
A very, very close game too between Noble and Memory of Gabe, but Memory of Gabe come out on top. What was it down to?
Without that tier 2 tower where you're fighting there against a late game team like In Memory of Gabe, that tower just doesn't give you anything. I mean, you've got so far to run until you're safe underneath your Phoenix. The engage from Kiki was really solid, and that time Kiki held his ultimate until after he got Nem ulted. Skeeledon was just in the wrong spot, got blown up by Snoopy. For me, we were saying coming into this set that Snoopy has been pretty quiet in the Hunter role. This was his best set that I've seen from him in quite some time.
I think a lot of people at home there would have been saying Memory of Gabe easy 2-0. That was not easy.
No, it certainly wasn't. Noble has a lot to look at and say, okay, we did this well, we could do this a little bit better. And all of a sudden, this team can really start to improve pretty quickly.
Well, we've still got LG versus Monkey Madness to come. Stay tuned. We'll be back after the short break.
I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air. That's how I roll. I got tons of soul. I'm a true collectible. Famous, also famous, #1 desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air. That's how I roll. I got change to throw. I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping incredible. Always on the show, so they know that I still got it, and I never feel sorry. Yeah, top of the world. How they love, they can bring me down, nah. They are jealous of me and my umbrella, yeah, they love me so. This is